Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Diavel TV. We are back today with the latest installment of our WWE 2K25 MyGM series. We are going to be hitting the ground running. We are beginning our Season 2. So quick Season 1 recap in case you did forget. We kind of blew away the competition. It wasn't even particularly close, and we technically did win the entire series. We were inducted into the Hall of Fame. We did get the 3 out of 3 trophies required to satisfy the win condition. However, we are going to keep the series going for one more season, and we are going to take this up to the Season 2 WrestleMania. Now, quick disclosure, okay, so when I loaded up the game today to film this video, somehow, some way, the draft that we completed in the previous episode did not save. So I had to do it again. Luckily, I guess the AI is fixed and I was able to replicate the exact same draft. Okay, so we did get the exact same superstars. The other brands have the exact same superstars as well. The only difference is that the staminas for some superstars will be different. Okay, so if when I pull up the roster, you're seeing different staminas, that is why. Otherwise, nothing has changed. All right. So another thing, what I want to do, okay, for Season 2 is I do not want to make individual 5-week episodes for this. Okay. So what I'm most likely going to do, and hopefully you guys are okay with this episode is probably going to be on the longer end. And I would like to encompass 2, possibly 3 PLEs in this show, so we can break Season 2 up into 2 individual episodes, because I have some very exciting plans for this channel, and I want to get this to you as quickly as possible so that you can enjoy it. All right, so without further ado, let's just jump right back in. This is week 1 of Season 2 for our WWE 2K25 MyGM mode. All right, so first things first, let's check our journal for promises. The only promise we have is that we did promise Cody Rhodes a rematch against Randy Orton for the Universal Championship. I did spend a little bit of time thinking about this after we cut the recording of the last video. This actually isn't going to be as big of a detriment as I thought, because we can run a Randy versus Cody solos match, and then I can have a Roman Reigns run-in to attack Randy, cost him the Universal Championship, get the Universal Championship onto Cody, and hopefully start a feud for the US title, the mid-card title, between Randy and Roman. So again, Randy is currently a double champion because he ended last season as a double champion, and we ended up keeping him as a keeper. And you already know what my opinions are on double champions. Okay, it takes away from the rest of the roster, and it's kind of a detriment to the match card because you have one less opportunity to have a title match on the card. Okay, so that's probably what we're going to do in week 1. Now, Commissioner Goals, obviously it is week 1, so we do not have anything. We have nothing available for show logistic upgrades. That's okay. We should have an opportunity to upgrade next week. And our power cards. Okay, so we did keep, it looks like, we did keep our power cards that we did not use from last season. Personally, I thought they kind of reset, so that's an absolute bonus that they didn't. We get a lot of cards carried over, and then we got a revamped those cards that we started off last season with, the Birth of Legends, which I am actually going to use now so I don't forget. Popularity boost to Brooks Jensen, Jade Cargill, Gigi Dolan, Cody Rhodes, Bronson Reed, and Flash Legend. Okay, so not a bad pull there, not a bad roll. And then we also get a new Mega Power card. So remember last season we used this on Kaylani Jordan, and it basically instantaneously brought her from the bottom of the roster to the top, and she became the immediate face of SmackDown, especially in the women's division. So I don't think I want to use this right now, okay, but we are going to keep this in our back pocket, and we could potentially revisit this after the first or second PLE. All right, and then we have our War Games card that we won from winning the main event of Survivor Series, and then we have a couple random ones that we can keep in our back pocket. This Homecoming card might be absolutely huge. So honestly, let's see if there's anybody that we can sign and kind of kind of rig the system here. We can sign them for cheap, keep them off the card for 2 weeks, and then they become a permanent star for next to nothing. So let's see if there's just anybody out there. Let's just entertain this. So we can get John Cena, we can get The Rock, The Undertaker, Devon. Wow. Oh, okay here. This is going to be a decision. You know, I think we're going to sign The Rock. Now, this is going to put us in a critical budget situation. The power card that we use to sign him for the rest of the season takes him out for 2 weeks. Okay, guaranteed takes him out for 2 weeks. So we can't sign him for 1 week, I don't think, because his contract will lapse. If we sign him for 2 weeks, that might be okay. However, I want to err on the side of caution here and sign him for 3 weeks. So then that third week when he does come back and is, you know, a permanent spot on the roster, after that 2 week break, I don't want to jeopardize getting him on the roster permanently. So I am going to sign him for 3 weeks, and I think that'll only bring us down. I think that'll bring us down to about 50K. Okay, 99K. So I need to go back to school and take math classes. We are not in as bad of a position as I thought, but guys, check this out. We signed The Rock. Level 25 in-ring, ridiculous promo skill. Obviously, it's The Rock, level 5, 72 popularity, decent stamina, but whatever, we can work with that. I am stoked to see what we can do with The Rock. Okay, so also before I forget, I am going to place this card on The Rock. He will be gone for 2 weeks, but that is okay. And then he will come back a permanent member of Smackdown. This is going to be crazy. Okay. So, I did promise Cody that rematch, so let's get that out of the way. Again, you will see the rivalry is on cooldown because they blew their feud off at WrestleMania, and we are technically in this universe only 1 week removed from WrestleMania. So I'm not expecting anything good to come of this match, but we are going to try to initiate a rivalry as well as take one of the titles off Randy. So this match will potentially serve 2 different purposes. You know, I might have that open the show. And then another rivalry that I did want to start would be Drew and Cody. Not Randy, Drew and Cody. And then hopefully that could be a world title feud if this match goes the way I want it to. Let's dabble around with our tag teams. I do want to get a women's tag going. Get Tatum Paxley and Elektra Lopez or Lash Legend. Tatum Paxley and Elektra Lopez. And we can have them immediately feud with Kairi Sane and Gigi Dolan. That's an idea. Okay, yeah, that works. We can do that, and that'll be for the tag titles because our tag titles are currently vacant. And then let's try for another feud. And you know what I want to try is a battle of the big boys. Okay, so we're gonna do a Braun Strowman versus Omos, and this match could be something crazy, like if I do a backstage brawl. Okay, they get their popularity increase. However, that only brings us down to about $34,000 budget-wise. That's a risk. That is a risk. I honestly, I might save that. We can make this an Extreme Rules match. And then possibly here we start dabbling with a men's tag team, meaning Wes and Trick. And we could do Bronson and Brooks and Bronson. And that could be for the men's tag titles. And we're looking good on stamina. We can make this an Extreme Rules match as well, which now makes me want to change this to something like a tables match. Okay, so this will remain a normal match because I don't exactly know how this one's going to shake out. Actually, you know what? I have a fixed match card. I am going to use it on Cody. Where is Cody? There you are. I am going to use it on Cody strictly because I want to ensure that this match goes the way that I want it to. It might not start a rivalry between Randy and Roman, but I do need one of those belts off of Randy. Okay, so I am going to make sure Cody Rhodes wins. Hopefully that doesn't jeopardize anything with the Roman-Randy feud, but if it does, whatever, we'll deal with it. And then... okay. We are going to do a call-out, Jade and Asuka, and then maybe a self-promo for Lash Legend, since she needs kind of a popularity boost. She is kind of low. So, I think we're good. We can go ahead and book this show. I kind of hope the opener gets better ratings than the first mid-card, although I don't know exactly how that's going to shake out, so guess we'll see. But let's go ahead and book $30,000 show cost. Kind of rough, but I hope we make some money this week. So match number 1, Randy versus Cody for the title. We know what's going to happen here. Cody Rhodes wins, takes the title off of Randy in a 4-star match. Okay. No rivalry between Randy and Roman, but we can live with that. That's definitely something we can build in the coming weeks. Our call-out between Drew and Cody grows the rivalry to a level 1. Mid-card tag title match for the women's division, Tatum Paxley and Elektra Lopez versus Kairi Sane and Gigi. Tatum and Elektra are the inaugural champions for Season 2 in the women's tag division. There's a 2.5-star match, and that rivalry grows to level 1, so that's good. Call-out between Jade and Asuka, that grows the rivalry to level 1. Our tables match between the big boys, Braun Strowman versus Omos.
1, 2, ring the bell.
And Omos picks up the dub. In a 2-star match, that's okay. Their popularities are kind of low. We can live with that, but that brings the rivalry up to a level 1. And then our self-promo with Lash Legend. 1 popularity increase, that's okay. We can live with that. It's something. And then our main event, a tag team Extreme Rules match, Wes and Trick versus Bronson and Brooks. Let's see who our inaugural champs will be. That would be Wesley and Trick Williams. In a 3.5-star match, grows the rivalry to a level 1. That's fantastic. Honestly, half-decent card for week 1 of Season 2. I don't care what the other brands are doing. I only care about the ratings. Show me the ratings. And let's see how we did. Okay, so we won the opener, won the first mid-card, came in second for the second mid-card, and then we tied for first with the main event. So honestly, pretty damn good all around, okay? We're kind of, again, laying the basis, laying the groundwork for the rest of the season, so can't really complain. Now, obviously, no injuries. This was only the first week, so let's see how we did budget-wise. So we did gain 10,000 fans. At this point, fans don't matter at all. It's just a bragging rights thing. And then we gained $74,000. So that makes signing The Rock sting just that much less. All right. Mutiny plus 12,000. NXT plus 16,000, and WCW plus 8,000. So they came in last. They struggled. We got a power card. Select an opposing brand who must use a tier 1 crew logistic during next week's show. Okay. We'll keep that in our back pocket. And you can see this is a excerpt of the standings from Season 1 as well. So we will, I believe, remain in first. Even if any of the other shows get 3 out of 3 trophies, we will remain in first because we got there first. We do have almost 200,000 fans over second place, which is Ava, and we are sitting pretty up at the top. You will see we do have a vacant women's division. We do not have a women champion, but that will change hopefully this week. So we are in Anaheim for week 2. Cody Rhodes says, thanks for the title rematch and your new champion once again. Yeah, good job, Cody. Roman Reigns, hey boss, I have a bit of a problem. I had a costume malfunction during practice today, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to go on tonight unless we fix it ASAP. You know what, Roman? Take the week off. I will get that feud started between you and Randy with a call-out promo. Okay, so before I forget, let's do that. Where's Randy? Randy and Roman. Perfect. So we do have a show logistic that we can upgrade. I think we're going to go for the email campaign because it focuses more on the budget and acquiring money. So the more money, the better at the current state of the series. So we're going to upgrade that to a tier 3. Now, manage roster, it looks like we might have a perk to put on, and we do a perk to put on Wes Lee. This doesn't really matter. This is an all-specialist playthrough, so secondary classes are irrelevant. Okay. Nothing looks too appealing in the power card section, so we are going to forget that there's anything there, because there isn't, nothing we can use. So I do want to build on the Cody and Drew rivalry. We're going to make that a title match. This will be their first match against each other. Okay, and we can make this an ambulance. No, we're not going to do that. I don't want to jeopardize too much stamina right away, so we can have this be a... You know what? Let's make that a backstage brawl for the title. And our opener will be Jade and Asuka for the title. Let's hopefully get that match or that rivalry going. Let's do we did do a women's tag last week. We did do a men's tag last week. Rock is busy for one more week. Let's do we want to do like a fatal 4-way to get women involved, or potentially start a one-on-one feud between Kaylani and Elektra Lopez, or Lash Legend and Gigi, who has good stamina. But Gigi and Elektra have great stamina. Kaylani has fantastic stamina. Oh my god. So, okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to do a one-on-one match between Kaylani and Elektra Lopez, and we can make this just a tables match and put that as the co-main. And then I want to have either a women's or a men's tag match. Let's see here. Could maybe do a women's tag. Actually, that wouldn't really make sense. So let's do the men's again. Their staminas aren't the greatest, but that's okay. For this match, the opener, I do want to make this like an Extreme Rules. We have an Extreme Rules, a normal, a table, and a backstage brawl. That's okay with me. Braun Strowman with the 3 mic skill is going to call out Omos, and then we can have the kickoff of a one-on-one rivalry between, let's say, Gigi and Tatum Paxley. That's an idea, so let's fill the promo slots with call-out promos, and I think we're all good there. We have a commissioner goal. Ensure that your least popular available specialist is in a match this week for a limited stock card. Don't care about that whatsoever. So we can go ahead. Let's book this show. You're over budget. I am over budget. Okay, so we are not going to do a backstage brawl. That is unfortunately too costly. So let's make this a falls count anywhere. And that currently brings us under budget. So let's do that and let's book. So week 2, the opening match, Jade Cargill versus Asuka in an Extreme Rules match for the women's title to crown an inaugural champion, and Jade Cargill picks up the win in a 4-star match, and that rivalry grows to a level 2. Okay, so I will take that any day of the week. That's perfect. And while Roman is off getting the rip in his butt cheek fixed, we start a rivalry between him and Randy. That grows to a level 1. Mid-card tag team titles, Trick and West versus Bronson and Brooks yet again. And Trick and West pick up the W Again, 3.5-star match. That tag rivalry grows to a level 2. Okay, so we are off to a good start with these rivalries. Hopefully it bodes well for the rest of the season. So Braun Strowman and Omos, level 1 to a level 2 rivalry. And then our mid-card one-on-one match, Kaylani Jordan and Elektra Lopez.
Ring it.
And Kaylani picks up the win. Only a 2-star match, but it does start a rivalry. That's something that will grow over time. Not overly concerned. Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley start a rivalry. That grows to level 1. And then our main event, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre in a Falls Count Anywhere for the men's title. Okay, and Drew McIntyre wins. I went through all that effort to get the title onto Cody, and he immediately loses it at the first opportunity. But bonus. So 4.5-star match, and that rivalry grows to a level 2. So if it's at 4.5 stars already, I can only imagine that when we go to blow this rivalry off, this is a guaranteed 5-star match. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, again, we don't care about what the other brand's cards are. We only care about the ratings. Okay, the ratings are the only thing that matter. We won the opener, won the first mid-card, tied for first with the second mid-card, and absolutely demolished in the main event. Okay, so we did win this week for sure. Almost a clean sweep, but I will take that any day of the week. We made good progress on our rivalries, and we are definitely in good shape. So, plus 17,000 fans this week and plus $67,000. That is always good to see. Plus 12,000 for Mutiny, 7,000 for NXT, and 15,000 for WCW. Good for them. Good for them. So, as you can see, still handily in first. That will continue to be the case. We are not going anywhere. All right. Triple H says, doing a head count. It looks like Jensen isn't here this week. He left a note on his locker room claiming that he needs time away from management for the next 2 weeks. You may have to adjust your plans. What? He just walked out on us? Okay, now call me an ass, call me a stickler, whatever, but you know, if I were WWE HR and he just decided to walk out and not fulfill his contractual obligations, that's not really something that can be tolerated. And we are a cutthroat brand. Only the top make it. So, Brooks Jensen, I know it's going to mess up the rivalry. You're fired. Do what you need to do. I'll support your decision. Thank you. Cody Rhodes, I'm not happy losing my strap last week. Oh my God, you are such a crybaby. As a former champion, I'm enacting my rematch clause. I want a championship match, whatever. Oh, shit. What? I actually meant to say yes to that, so that's my fault. Hopefully that doesn't affect his morale too much. So we do have a commissioner goal for an entry rehab card. Have your most popular available male heel and face fight each other this week. That's something we can definitely look into doing. Nothing going with show logistics. Now, because Brooks Jensen is off the roster, he was just fired, we do have a vacancy. Now, I don't want to make this too much of a habit. I know we just signed The Rock, who, by the way, is available for the first time this week, so we're going to get him on the card. We do have a vacancy on the roster. Okay, so let's take a look and see what's out there. Okay, not making any kind of commitment, but I think Brooks was a face. I can't even check. I don't care. Let's just see what's there, and then we can make an assessment. Male, any, whatever. Let's see if anybody tickles our fancy. Seth frickin' Rollins, Sami Zayn, Sheamus, and Apollo Crews. All right. This, honestly, this is something I can work with. So what I want to do is, because of the fact that he was on our roster last year or last season, I'm not inclined to bring back Seth, but I do want to bring in Sami Zayn. All right, now it would be nice if I had Kevin Owens, which unfortunately I do not, but seems like he would be a very good addition to this roster. So we're going to sign him for 5 weeks at a cost of $84,000. And he will replace Brooks Jensen on our roster. Okay, so let's go ahead and book a show here. So we got to keep an eye on staminas. Staminas for Randy and Roman are fantastic. So we are going to book them. And this is going to be a... This is going to be an Extreme Rules match for the US Championship. This should be a banger match. I'm very excited for that. Now, we did just fire Brooks, therefore negating our current ongoing tag team rivalry. So we will have to do something with that. But I am more inclined to do a women's tag title match currently. We have some fantastic stamina here. Kairi Sane, almost 100 stamina. So let's go ahead and use that. And let's do a... Okay, we could afford to do it. Do we have the stamina to do it? Because that will give a fantastic boost to all these women. We do. We definitely do. So we are going to do a tag team backstage brawl match for the titles between Kairi, Gigi, Tatum, and Elektra. So honestly, fantastic. That will provide a good boost to all of their popularities, even the losers. So awesome. So Drew and Cody, I am going to keep most likely off of the card. We do need to watch their staminas because that is going to be a valuable feud to have at the Go Home show next week. So I'm thinking that I blow off this rivalry between Drew and Cody, and I have Drew then feud with The Rock. Because currently I don't have anything for The Rock to do immediately, but okay, so what I am going to do, okay, I'm going to verbalize this for you. I am going to do a call out between Drew and Cody. Hopefully get that rivalry to a level 3. That will allow us to blow this rivalry off either at the Go Home show or have it our mid-card match at the PLE. Whoever wins and takes the title will feud with The Rock. Now, it may take a role change in order to make that happen, but that is going to be an absolute banger. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, it might take a few weeks to develop that, but honestly, that's going to have a very, very huge payoff. Okay, so Jade and Asuka. Jade's stamina kind of low, so I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to do anything with her. You can stay off the card. She has way ridiculous amounts of popularity. She can afford to be off the card for 1 week. So, welcome Sami Zayn. We are going to do... I have 2 mid cards. I want to get as many people on this card as I can that have the stamina to accommodate, and we are going to put people into fatal 4-way matches. The women's match actually will be a triple threat, and Kaylani, and then no, Jade's going to completely stay off the card. Okay, and then we are going to do a fatal 4-way men's match because we have a lot of men here that aren't really doing much. So we are going to do Omos, we're going to do Sami Zayn, welcome to Smackdown. We are going to do, poor Sammy, we're going to do Bronson Reed, and we're going to do Braun Strowman. Now, one of these things is not like the other, all right? You line these 3 guys up, and Sami Zayn would look like an absolute midget. Okay? He is so small compared to all of these guys that this would actually be absolutely hilarious to even spectate. They're going to be throwing Sammy around the ring left, right, and center. All right, so we are going to introduce The Rock to our fans and have him do a self-promo with his 5 mic skill. That should shoot his popularity absolutely through the roof, and it's already super high, but, you know, just for shits and gigs. Let's potentially see if there's anything we can do call-out-wise. Okay, so again, Wes and Trick no longer have a rivalry going for that tag titles, so what we can do is we can make a new one. So we're going to need 2 heels. So I did sign a face in Sami Zayn to replace the heel Brooks Jensen, but that's okay. I don't want to turn anybody currently, so that means we are going to be forced to do a Bronson and Omos tag team, which honestly isn't bad. That could be a realistic tag team in real life. Two absolute behemoths against two pseudo cruiserweights. That would be a pretty banger match on a real life card. So take a peek and make sure that everything's good. We're not fulfilling that commissioner goal. That's okay. We don't need the injury rehab card, and watch, it's going to come back to bite me in the butt now that I say that, but currently we don't need that injury rehab card. We can pick them up as we need them from the store, if at all possible. So take a look at our power cards. Nothing I really want to use. Actually, the go home show is next week, so I can make it so that Sean, our arch nemesis, if you haven't been following up until this point, I can make it so that Sean kind of gets the crap end of the stick. Nobody has contracts, and I don't want to use a Sport Games card just yet. Scouting points I don't really care about. What I do want to do, though, is use this card, and then we can give the 30 bonus ring XP to maybe one of our top guys who has a low in-ring level. This could go on Jade Cargill. Okay, that brings her up to a 15. Perfect. So that means she should now have a new perk. And it's the perk that doesn't matter because of the challenge that we're doing, so who cares? Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and book this show and get going with the go home show. $83,500 cost. That's perfectly fine. Our opening match, Backstage Brawl Tag Team title match between Kyrie and Gigi and Tatum and Elektra. Tatum and Elektra win. Okay. 3.5 stars. Nothing happens with that rivalry. That's okay. And Drew and Cody, that grows to a level 3. Lash Legend, Asuka and Kalani Jordan in a triple threat match, and Asuka picks up the W. Only 1.5 star match. That is definitely going to hurt the ratings. That's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? Okay. The Rock self promo, 2 popularity increase. That's perfect. The mid card is a fatal 4-way. Could you imagine if Sammy wins this match? I would call shenanigans.
2. That's it. Ring the bell.
So Sammy beats a trio of giants in a fatal 4-way in a 2-star match, and actually starts a rivalry between him and Bronson Reed, an individual rivalry. And then Strowman and Omos increase their rivalry to a level 3. Wow. So the tag team call, it was absolutely nothing. Whatever. And then our main event. Okay, Extreme Rules match. Randy Orton and Roman Reigns for the U.S. title. Randy retains. That is a 4-star match, and that rivalry grows to a level 2. You love to see it. Again, we only care about the ratings. I don't care what all you other brands have going on, unless it's something absolutely ridiculous. Ratings wise, we tied for first with the first, or for our opener, sorry. We came in second place for the mid card, tied for first place in the second mid card, and tied for first place in the main event. So honestly, not bad, but not great. We're probably middle of the pack here in terms of overall fan gain, but hey, that's okay. So we did get $20,000 and $25,000. So as long as you see green right here, that's pretty much all that matters. So we are in the green, gaining money. What more could you want? Okay, so $20,000 for Smackdown, $10,000 for Mutiny, $16,000 for NXT, and 7,676 for WCW. So we did actually win. Okay, most amount of fans, and we could probably attribute that to The Rock now being a member of Smackdown and cutting a promo on our show this week. So, what do you know? Still in first place. That will not change. On to week 4, our go-home show. And Shawn Michaels has the gonads to slide into my DMs and say, hey, what was that stunt you just pulled? You like that? Got to get dirty if you want to win. If you want to play it that way, fine, watch your back. Yeah, whatever, Shawn. I'm really psyched for this upcoming PLE. Can't wait to put on a great show for the crowd. Don't worry, Drew, you will be on the card. Bronson Reed says, hey, boss, I've been talking with McIntyre a lot lately, and he had this great idea that we should team up for a tag match. I think we'd actually make an awesome tag team. Can I convince you to take a chance on us and book us in a tag match in the next few weeks? You know what? Yeah, absolutely. That seems like a good idea. Your morale is not the greatest right now, so hopefully that will help. Okay, so open promises. Sami Zayn's contract will be expiring. We'll deal with that. Drew McIntyre wants to make an appearance for sure. And then Bronson Reed wants to partner with Drew. We can do that. Okay. That's just a contract reduction power card. I don't care. Do we have any assets? No, we do not. Okay, any power cards? No. No power cards. Okay. Let's go ahead and book this show and see what we can do. Okay, so current stamina levels, we can still do a Roman and Randy main event. We can do an iron. No, stamina cost is very high. We could have this be a steel cage. No, I don't want to do that either. I don't want to keep doing the same 2 or 3 match types over and over again. So, let's actually do a TLC match for them. Our opener, we can do Jade and Asuka for the title. Good stamina, decent stamina, so we can do a... Do I want this to be our steel cage? No. Actually, I don't care about that power card, so I'm not going to be forced to do a steel cage match. That's bad for business. All right, so Drew and Cody is going to be our mid-card match at the PLE. So before I forget, we're going to upgrade that to a level 4. And Drew will be calling out Cody, and then Cody will do a self-promo to get that popularity up. Okay, so Jade and Asuka, women's match. That doesn't necessarily need to be a gimmick match. Let's see what else we can do. So Trick Williams, oh my God, sitting up there with a 66 popularity. Good for him. So, what do I want to do? What do I want to do here in the mid-card? We could do that women's tag for sure. We can get that in there. Staminas are good. Gigi and Kyrie with crazy staminas. So we can possibly make this a tornado tag. Star popularity increase plus 10% injury chance. I don't think anyone's going to get injured here, so we can maybe open the show with that. Let's see what happens with these other 2 matches. The Rock is going to be cutting another self-promo, because I do want to wait and see who wins between Drew and Cody to then be able to figure out who I need to turn to be able to make that feud between The Rock and whoever ends up as the champion after the upcoming PLE. So, I do want to start that tag rivalry between Trick and Wes and Bronson and Omos, but I also at the same time want to blow off this Braun and Omos feud for ratings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again try a tag team call out between Wes and Trick and Bronson and Omos. Try this one more time. Hopefully it works. If not, we'll have to think of something else. So we're going to do Braun versus Omos. Staminas are fantastic. But let's do something like a falls count anywhere. Stamina cost extreme. Yeah, falls count anywhere it is. That can actually go as our mid card. even though I don't know which one of these two will perform better. These one, Jade and Asuka, have higher popularities, but this is a gimmick match and a higher rivalry level. I'm going to leave it as it is for now. Lash Legend and Kaylani Jordan, we can do that one-on-one because they have fantastic staminas. We can definitely afford to use some of their staminas up. Just make this a tables match. This match is the only one that is not gimmicked. I feel like if I do make it gimmicked, then Iron Man, if I do make that gimmick, then I'm definitely switching. This is going to be an expensive show. Our stamina levels might be very low after this. I also have to keep in mind that I need a woman and a male to open and headline the pay-per-view next week. They need to have good popularity, good stamina, and good in-ring level. I don't know who I'm going to be able to put in those matches with this current card. But you gotta risk it to get the biscuit. Let's go ahead and book this show. $91,000. Our first match of the night, a Tornado Tag title match between Gigi and Kairi and Tatum and Elektra. And Gigi and Kairi actually take the titles back. That is a 3.5-star match. That's scary. And that robber goes to level 2. So that robber goes to level 4, even though it was a weak promo. Now this is where things could get scary. I think this one might outperform our opener, but fingers crossed. Braun Strowman and Omos, false count anywhere. Braun Strowman wins, and it did outperform. Okay, so it's a 4-star, amazing match, and that rivalry is over. Cody Rhodes, 2 popularity increase Iron Man match for the Women's Championship. Jade Cargill and Asuka. And Jade retains in a 4.5-star match, and that rivalry goes to level 3. So that is off to a fantastic start. And The Rock with a 2 popularity increase. When he kicks this feud off with whoever ends up as champion, it is going to be 5-star match after 5-star match after 5-star match. But naturally, it's The Rock. Come on. So our third mid-card, Kaylani Jordan versus Lash Legend in a tables match. Not expecting much here. And Lash Legend actually wins. That's only a 2-star match, nothing doing with the rivalry, but whatever. So second week in a row that the tag team call-out does absolutely jack. So I might have to resort to just putting them in a match together and see what happens. So our main event of the night, a TLC match for the United States Championship. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton. Let's go. And Roman dethrones Randy, and that is a 5-star match. And I don't even think that was a rivalry blow-off. Absolutely insane. Hopefully that makes up for the mixed match between the opener and the first mid-card. Okay, so I actually might want to check out what the brands are doing at the go-home show. Nothing really for Mutiny. Rey Mysterio was in their main event. That's pretty cool. Gunther and Austin Theory, Damon and Priest, and Ilya Dragunov are their tag rivalry, so honestly, that's not bad as well. Mr. Fuji's cooking. He's cooking over there at Mutiny. He heard all the trash we were talking all of season 1 and said, hey, season 2 is my season. It's not, but go ahead and think that, little man. Whatever helps. Whatever helps you sleep at night. So Gunther and Austin Theory retain, and I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't want to go individually, simulate the whole show, and let's get over to NXT. So Joe Coffey versus Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs has a 1 stamina. One singular stamina point. This man gets out of bed, takes 1 step, he will drop to the floor, have a heart attack, and die on his bedroom floor. How the hell is he going to wrestle a match with 1 stamina? This man's going to fall asleep in the middle of the ring. I expect him to tear an ACL or snap his back or break his neck or something. That is insane. So we're gonna check that once the ratings come out. WCW. Yeah, whatever. That's a huge nothing burger. Now the ratings. Okay, so again, we did get that poor opening. that sucks. NXT. So Briggs is injured for 4 weeks. If you recall, Shawn Michaels was boasting about this individual when we kicked season 2 off after the draft, saying that Briggs was going to be the next big thing and is going to be the key to overthrowing Smackdown, yada, 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 whatever. And surely enough, 4 weeks in, he is already injured. So, not great GMing there, Sean. I don't know what you're doing over there, what crack you're smoking, but I'm going to steal your entire roster because chances are they all hate you. Okay, in the WCW, whatever. So I don't think we did too well because of the poor opening, but we did gain 51,000 fans, and we actually did make money despite throwing all the money we had available to those gimmick matches. So, oh well. Mutiny gained 46,000, NXT 58,000, and WCW 40,000. So we actually came in second place, which isn't that bad. I thought we would have been completely boned because of the opening match, but you know, I'll take it. So now we are at Backlash, our very first PLE. Lash Legend says, hey, isn't it about time you put me in a PLE event? These things come and go and you never seem to use me. How can I never seem to use you when this is literally the first event? Make that make sense, 2K. Make it make sense. How about we end the disrespect tonight and finally give me my moment on the big stage? No. The Rock says, I haven't had any matches in a while and the fans are starting to forget about me. Don't you have room for me in a match on tonight's card? I don't actually, because I only get one. The light just went off in my head. The Rock is going to be our male representative for the men's cross-brand match. And he's going to win because it's The Rock. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are going in that match. You're not going to be on our mid-card. You are going to be in the main event, sir. Oh, that... absolutely clutch. Absolutely clutch. Book your least popular superstar for a match this week for a To the Moon card. I want that card, but I'm not going to do that because this is the pay-per-view, and I'm not going to jeopardize my ratings for no effing reason. It's going to sting not getting that card, though. So we are going to purchase the Backlash venue, naturally. So the opener is actually the men's match, and it is a fatal 4-way backstage brawl. Though, again, we're putting The Rock in this match. It would probably be beneficial for the other brands just to not even send anybody and to forfeit, because this is not even up for debate. There's no question. The Rock is going to kill everybody. Okay, he's going to kill them all. All right, so perfect. Our mid-card match, we're going to do Drew and Cody. Cody's stamina is still kind of low, but is there a branded PLE bonus? Yes, there is for Extreme Rules. So we're going to do that. Blow this rivalry off, and hopefully Cody doesn't get injured. I don't think he will, but we can give him a couple weeks of rest, and honestly, hopefully Cody wins, so then we can have a Cody and The Rock feud. I will turn The Rock heel for that if needed, because I don't know if you're currently updated with current WWE programming, but Cody and The Rock would be a fantastic one-on-one feud. That would be an absolute banger. That is going to be our mid-card. Our promo, I mean, it doesn't really matter much. Honestly, I probably could have. Oh, actually, no, I didn't actually make a promise to her. That's just something she told me she wanted to do. So, I am going to, surprisingly, put Lash Legend in that promo slot, and I'm actually not going to do a self-promo. I'm going to do a call-out. She is in a rivalry with Kaylani Jordan, and I want to get that rivalry off the ground. So, that is our mid-card. Honestly, not bad. Then our main event, the women. It is a tag team match, Extreme Rules. Okay. And, guy, oh my god, what? I didn't even look at the match reward. Look at this. Immediately gain an additional copy of your GM power card. This card is already ridiculously OP. Could you imagine if we got another one? Dude. Okay. That's oh my god, that's absolutely insane. It's because of the low stamina. I think I have to trust Kehlani with this again. She came through in the clutch for us last season, and I'm kind of having to put the weight on her shoulders here to do it again. But oh my god, dude, that's crazy. If we win the opener and if we win the main event, we get 2 of these cards, meaning would get 2 duplicates of this card, and we could pole vault 3 total superstars to the top of the brand, 100 everything, maxed out, absolutely crazy. That would be a game changer, guys. That would be an absolute game changer. So let's go ahead, let's book this. Show cost only 18,000. All right. We should have this in the bag, but anything can happen. Okay. All right. Look at this. You're going to have Wolfgang, you're going to have Ridge Holland and Tama Tonga in the same ring as The Rock and expect them to even hold a candle to this man. If I don't win this match with The Rock, I am going to flip this table. Not actually, full disclaimer, but it's going to be absolutely insane. It'll be baffling.
1, 2, it's over.
Never a doubt. 4.5 star match, The Rock wins, and most importantly, we get that bonus card. The Back at It Again card immediately gain an additional copy of your GM Power card. Absolutely massive. My God. I'm excited for that. All right, so everybody else except for us has their tag titles on the line, surprisingly. So here it is, our mid-card match, Extreme Rules, Drew versus Cody for the title. So Drew wins, and he will be feuding with The Rock. We will be keeping The Rock face and keeping Drew heel. All right, so that will be a banger. That will be a banger. So Lash Legend and Kehlani Jordan grows the rivalry to a level 2. Whatever. And then Gunther and Austin Theory versus Damian Priest and Tyler Bate. Gunther and Austin Theory pick up the dub. 4-star match. Chelsea Green cuts a charity promo. That's one of the decisions of all time, gaining 1,500 fans. Razor and Karrion Kross versus Tozawa and Otis. Tozawa and Otis retain the tag titles. Then we have a call-out, grows that rivalry to level 2, whatever. And then the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson. Bro, that's crazy. I love that they do this now, that the AI has been updated to actually do this. So Gallows and Anderson are the tag champions versus Berto and Charlie Dempsey. I love that. So Gallows and Anderson retain. That is a 3.5 star match. Cool. Whatever. Nobody cares. Now, our main event. Zelina Vega, Kehlani Jordan, Zoe Stark, and Fallon Henley. We do have 2 superstars here with 100 stamina. However, their popularities are horribly bad. Kehlani Jordan is the most popular by a wide margin. Zelina Vega has the highest in-ring XP. I think, honestly, it is a 50-50 shot between Zelina and Kehlani. So, fingers crossed that we can get that power card. Oh, it was a tag match. We won. I'm an idiot. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Okay, so we won the main event, and we got another power card. Amazing. Oh, dude, this is insane. All right, anyway, first things first. Plus 151,000 fans. Plus 100,000 fans for Mutiny. Plus 105,000 for NXT. And WCW get 117,000. Okay, so not bad. We did win that week, and what do you know? Handily in first. I'm going to say that every week the screen pops up, guys, just so you know. Handily in first. Let's check out the other champions. Nothing really to write home about. Raquel Rodriguez, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler. Oh, okay, not bad. So now let's hit week 6. But first, trades. I want Rhea Ripley. However, her stamina is high. Her popularity is high. Her in-ring level is high. It is going to be very difficult to get Rhea from Shawn Michaels. Is there anyone that I could offer to make this worthwhile? Trade value $23,000. Yeah, Sammy, you are completely worthless. Let's Braun Strowman, 260. No, I just want Braun on the roster. These top 6, even top 8, completely untouchable. About like Gigi Dolan. No, that wouldn't. Or maybe like Gigi Dolan and a Omos, and you give me money. And I'm not the best at math, but I think 276 plus 60K is 336. So we are kind of on an equal footing here. You know, let's just propose this and see what happens. I would be comfortable making this trade. I want Rhea. No. Okay. That's okay. Let's see if he counters. He does not. He does not counter. So I think I'm going to not worry about Rhea currently. We can reassess at a later date. So Sean does want to trade us, but he wants to give us Elton Prince and Kit Wilson for Braun Strowman and Wes Lee. Granted, he does want to throw in $111,000 in cash, but sir, are you on drugs? Look at these two dudes. They're wearing fishnets. They look like they belong on the cover of Vogue magazine, not in a WWE ring. Absolute kerfuffle. No. Instant decline. Not to mention I hate you. Anything you give me has to be a premium. Sean, please stop. Baron Corbin and Blair No. I don't need anybody else on the roster. The roster is already full. There's already a couple people not doing much, so I do not need any more superstars. All right. Ava says, your show really topped the charts. How'd you manage to pull that off? Again, I'm the best. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Ava says, well, the numbers don't lie. You put on a good show, but that won't last forever. It actually will. It will last forever. We are not going anywhere. We are here to stay. Mr. Fuji and that charming smile. I have to say, you really crushed it with that last show. Game, a recognized game. Mr. Fuji, you have absolutely no game, so that is a very weird statement to make. I was barely trying. Good luck keeping up, though. Mr. Fuji, it was one show. You can't be that lucky for long. No, Mr. Fuji's going to catch these hands. Lash Legend, thanks a ton for putting me in the PLE. It means a lot. I want to do my part to make this the best wrestling brand. Glad that you're giving me the kind of respect that I deserve. I don't know about that, but you're welcome. Lonnie Jordan, hey boss, was hoping to take some personal time. Can I get 2 weeks off? With that 67 stamina, that is going to be a big fat no. Let's see here. I can give you 1 week. I can give you 1 week. Okay, I can't have you off the card for 2 straight weeks, so I can give you 1. Okay, so that should small increase to the morale. That's good. Now let's select a shake-up card. Feminine Touch. Female matches receive a quality boost, while male matches have a small quality reduction. No. All superstars gain +3 popularity from Gauntlet and Gauntlet Eliminator matches. if you watch season 1, you know that I do like myself a fatal 4-way gauntlet match, so potentially. Find and replace superstars who win casket or ambulance matches on your brand. Gain 5 additional XP. No, because those matches come at the cost of either losing somebody off of your brand permanently or having somebody injured for an extended duration. So I think we're going to take this gauntlet card, and even if we don't end up booking a gauntlet fatal 4-way in the foreseeable future before the next PLE, that's okay. The other 2 cards are completely useless. This one might actually give us a benefit, but we'll see how it shakes out on a weekly basis. So I told Bronson Reed he'd partner with Drew McIntyre in a tag match, so we do have to satisfy that this week. Hopefully Drew's not too dead. He's not. He's okay. We can definitely get this going. Okay, so Drew and Bronson, who are they going to go up against? I don't want to put them against Trick and West because that will potentially start a rivalry, and I don't want Drew in a tag rivalry, so, or at least a tag rivalry with the champions. So we are going to pick 2 random faces. Potentially put Sammy and Braun in a tag match. This will be a throwaway match. Again, I'm not too optimistic about this in terms of ratings, but hey, we'll see. It satisfies the promise that I made, so that's okay. What I do want to do is I want to start this Rock and McIntyre feud, and oh my god, this is going to be amazing. All right, this has the potential to be 5-star match after 5-star match because, again, it's The Rock. All right, and then going up against Drew McIntyre, who is also over an 80 popularity, which is just ridiculous. I am concerned about Drew's stamina, so we will have to monitor that in advance of the next show, or the next PLE, mind you. So we will keep that in mind going forward. And our next feud, I believe Cody and Randy are eligible to feud again. They are. All right, but since Cody's stamina is so low, we can potentially do this again. So run back Randy and Cody. And we can actually, you know what? I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to put Roman and Randy in a rivalry. So that leaves Cody with, unfortunately, nothing to do. But let's see if we can pull anything out of the talent scout. So we would then need a male, a top heel. Let's go with Legends 20 to 24 and see what we can come up with. This could be a potential, or this will be Cody's next rivalry. Hopefully we can pull something good out of here. Let's see what we can get. Shinsuke, AJ Styles. So they only give us 2. That is very, very unfortunate. But you know what I like what I'm seeing here. I think I like Shinsuke. High popularity, high stamina, a good in-ring level 21. So I think we go ahead and I think we sign Shinsuke Nakamura. We go for 7 weeks, and then we'll reassess after 7 weeks. So, Shinsuke has a 3 mic skill. That's not the greatest, but I do need to keep Cody off of this card. Our main event, Jade's stamina is very low. Gigi has good stamina. Kairi Sane has good stamina, so let's make this a tag team match. Tatum and Elektra kind of low, but we can live with that. We will keep all of these matches normal because we are running into minor stamina issues. I wouldn't say it's anything serious, but we still want to make sure that we are maintaining these stamina levels. I can do a triple threat match. I could do a triple threat with the remaining men, or a triple threat with the remaining women. Actually, I couldn't do that because Jade stamina is low. So what I'm going to do is I could potentially... I couldn't even do a fatal 4-way because there's only 3 left of each superstar. So, you know what? I can kind of do a throwaway match. We are going to do Omos versus Trick Williams. And then just for some lore here, maybe let's do a Wesley run-in on Omos. That could potentially start a rivalry. Who knows? It's basically just a match filler. Okay, so let's do our last promo. What can we accomplish here? I want to get Cody a self promo, maybe get that popularity up above 70, but that stamina does need work. Is there maybe a power card that I can throw on him? Do I have one? I do not. Oh, let's cash these in. Okay, so I can only use one a week. That's fine. So you'll see now I have 2 of these absolutely broken, overpowered power cards, and next week I will be able to claim my 3rd one, and then maybe next week we can look at potentially who is going to benefit from the use of these cards. So I don't have any health spa cards. There is one up here for an additional 6 stamina. I am going to buy that and throw that on Cody because I want his stamina up as high as possible. His is very low, but we are going to use that. Cody will be busy, and then he should be just under 40 stamina for next week. Who does that leave us with? That leaves us with Lash Legend, Asuka, and Jade Cargill. Let's potentially do a self promo for Lash, maybe get that popularity up, because once Kaylani Jordan comes back next week from the break that I just granted her, I am going to put her and Kaylani into a match to grow that rivalry. Yes, thank you. Rest my solo champions for a contract negotiation card. Now that's huge. Okay, that is absolutely huge. However, I can't really afford to rest Roman. I basically need him to fill this card out, so we are unfortunately not going to be able to satisfy that commissioner goal, but it is what it is. So I have 2 expiring contracts coming up, but we are sitting pretty with the budget. So let's go ahead and book this show. $10,000. No specialty matches on this card, but again, we are only 1 week removed from a PLE. Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns for the title in the opener. And Roman Reigns retains. It is a 4-star match, no rivalry. The call-out between The Rock and Drew does start a rivalry, so that is going to be something that we are going to keep a very close eye on in the coming weeks. Omos versus Trick Williams with a Wesley run-in.
1, 2, that's it, ring it.
And Trick Williams wins, and that starts a rivalry between Lee and Omos. That was only a 1.5-star match, disappointing, but hey, whatever. Shinsuke and Cody start a rivalry. And then we have Drew McIntyre and Bronson Reed versus Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman in a tag team match.
1, 2, ring it.
So Drew and Bronson do pick up the win. That is a 3-star match, no rivalry. That's okay. Didn't care about starting a rivalry there anyway. That's good. Self-promo, okay, Lash Legend actually drops a popularity point and absolutely butchered that promo. So that sucks. That is counterproductive. Not exactly what we wanted. Moving on to the main event, we have Kairi Sane and Gigi Dolan versus Tatum Paxley and Elektra Lopez in a tag team title match in our main event. And Tatum Paxley and Elektra Lopez win, reclaim those titles in a 3-star match, and that rivalry grows to a level 3. All in all, very basic week, but I think we did relatively okay. I don't think we're going to win, but that's okay. We can afford to sacrifice 1 week for the long game. So we did win the opener. That was a 4-star match, and everyone's first mid-card matches absolutely sucked this week. So we did tie for first. We tied for first in the second mid-card, and then we tied for second in the main event. WCW had the best main event, a submission match between Mensa and Dar. Interesting. Any notable injuries? Gunther is gone for 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we gained 6,980 fans. Not a lot, but the big thing right there, right there, we did gain $100,000. Okay, that will help us keep our contracted superstars when they come up for renewal, which should be happening very shortly. So only 7,000 fans for us, 638 for Mutiny, so they were very close to actually gaining negative fans for the first time this series, not only this season, this series. So holy crap, they were on the brink of collapse. NXT plus 15,000. Okay, so Sean pulled a rabbit out of his ass. And WCW Ava plus 17,000. Okay, and once again, as you can see, we are comfortably in first, and worth noting now, Sean has 3 of 3 trophies, so he is hot on our heels, but it does not matter ultimately. We got there first, so we did win. Sean is just playing to avoid last, so I'll give him his props here, but this rivalry is still not over. I still want to make sure that that Sean crashes and burns and fails miserably. So, off to Long Beach, California for week 7, and I just got done saying the first nice thing about Sean in this entire series, and he wants to immediately smack us with a power card. All right, so we got a limited stock applied to us, doubling the price of our power cards in the store this week or next week. That's okay. I'm not typically a big power card buyer, so whatever. Sami Zayn says, hey, my contract at Smackdown is up at the end of the week. Can't say I've been loving it, but I'd be prepared to stay another 5 weeks for $85K. No, sorry, Sammy. Our plans have shifted since we signed you. Thank you for your work. Didn't really do much, but hey, that is pretty much my fault. But thank you for your service. Triple H, due to high demand, power cards are going to be more expensive this week. Perfectly fine. Shawn Michaels says, you got me once, but now I have my payback. This means war. It's been an ongoing war since like week 7 or 8 of the first season. So this is nothing new. So that was a low blow by Sean, but we will get him back. Bronson Reed says, I told you, Drew and I really hit it off as a team last week. Thanks for pairing us up. We're looking forward to the next tag match. To be completely honest with you, there probably won't be one. Drew is tied up in the main event picture, and you are just a lowly mid-card individual. So, doubt it's going to happen again. And then Omos says that loser Lee attacked me during that last fight. I'm not going to stand for garbage like that. I want to settle things in the ring with him within the next 3 weeks. Yep, that's cool. We did start that rivalry, so we will build on that for sure. Okay, so we do not have any promises besides the grudge match between Omos and Wesley, which we will probably satisfy this week. If not in a singles, definitely in a tag match. This, unfortunately, will be Sammy's last week, so I'll try to get him on the card somewhere just to give him a send-off. Then we have a commissioner goal to have a Hell in a Cell match for a pre-match physio. I'm not too sure about that. We do have a fixed match card in the shop. Unfortunately, it is double the price because of that card that our best friend Shawn Michaels played against us. So we are not going to buy that. Unfortunately, we will wait for a new cycle and hopefully pick it up later. So we did just use our second card that will get us another copy of the Mega Power card. So let's just briefly, okay, I'm not making any promises here, investigate who we could potentially use these cards on. So currently the women's division, as the top 2 women are faces, and then I have 2 heels, but they're kind of trailing in popularity. So I can place one of these cards on a heel, like a Lash Legend, Tatum Paxley, or an Asuka, to instantly pole vault them into top level feuds with some of our top face women, being Jade and Kaylani, but they are already involved in rivalries. I also like the idea of potentially pole vaulting a Braun Strowman and or a Kairi Sane or a Wes Lee. I don't think currently I am going to use this. I think our roster is currently in good shape. As we get closer to this next PLE and we are able to get a grip of, what our rivalries are going to look like after the PLE, that's when we can probably apply these cards to some people and make those changes. Okay, so we are eligible to upgrade a logistic here. So do I want to upgrade Pyro, or do I want to save these assets for an upgraded venue? I think I'm going to wait 5 weeks and I'm going to upgrade our venue to the arena unless somebody, one of our roster members, comes and says, hey, I want an upgrade to whatever logistic, then I will entertain that. But currently it doesn't matter. So Drew's stamina is still a little bit low. Okay, that's still a little concerning. So what I can do, because I did promise Omos that grudge match, is I could do a tag team match like this, for example, to satisfy that while still getting The Rock on the card to get him some work, increase his popularity even further, and still getting, you know, a couple of the low members of the roster on the card and get them some work. So that looks halfway decent. The Rock and West versus Omos and Bronson Reed. I am just going to keep that in the mid card because I don't know what to expect out of that match. See what we can do for the main event. Roman and Randy, their staminas are pretty low, so I will most likely not touch that rivalry this week. And we can do this. We can do a women's title match. We could probably also keep that a normal match for now because of the stamina levels. Kaylani and Lash Legend, absolutely. That is a level 2 rivalry, and we can make this. Okay, so we do get a bonus for making it a Hell in a Cell. But let's make it a Hell in a Cell, even though it is expensive, because that not only will that provide a match rating boost for this match, it will also satisfy this commissioner goal. We will get a pre-match physio card, which we can keep in our back pocket for when we actually run into true stamina issues. So, what can we do here? So, Gigi and Kyrie, their staminas are okay, but the heels, Tatum and Elektra, their staminas are low. So, we will do nothing with that. What we can do is now we can do a fatal 4-way. Keep it a normal match for now, but we can revisit that. Drew, 2 low stamina, Roman low stamina, Cody low stamina, Randy low stamina, Trick Williams versus Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. That honestly looks pretty dang good. That's 3 faces and 1 heel, but oh well. We can give Sammy his send-off, one final match on the roster, and then we can get a fatal 4-way match going to kind of get these gentlemen on the card. So that leaves the 4 top men with low staminas. So that is okay. What I can do is we can do a call-out. We can upgrade the Gigi and Tatum Paxley rivalry. Gigi has far more stamina and a better mic level, so Gigi will call out Tatum. I will keep Elektra and Tatum off the card entirely. We could... No, I'm not going to do that. So we can do a self-promo. Who's the lowest? We can do a self-promo with... do a Kairi Sane self-promo, and then we could do a... a Randy Orton self-promo. Okay, so again, this card, not really anything to write home about, but again, we are trying to juggle some low staminas as a result of our previous PLE. So I think we're good to go ahead and book this $48,000 cost. We have our first match, Kaylani Jordan versus Lash Legend in a Hell in a Cell. Hopefully this is a banger due to the amount of money it's going to cost us. Kaylani Jordan wins. It is a 4-star match, grows that rivalry to level 3. Perfect, that's exactly what we wanted. Nothing doing with the rivalry between Gigi and Tatum. That's unfortunate, that was a weak promo. Our first mid-card, that random fatal 4-way that I threw together, Trick, Braun, Shinsuke, and Sami Zayn. And Shinsuke wins his inaugural match on the card, or on the brand. Only at 1.5 stars. And that is exactly what I did not want to have happen. A Trick Williams and Nakamura rivalry stemming from this fatal 4-way. We're going to have to do something about that because Shinsuke and Cody are going to most likely be feuding with each other starting next week. Kairi Sane, 1 popularity increase from her self promo. And then our mid-card tag team match, The Rock and Wes Lee against Omos and Bronson Reed. And as always, no one's surprised, The Rock and Wes Lee win. 2.5 stars, and that starts a tag rivalry, but whatever. We're probably not going to do anything with that. Randy Orton, 1 popularity increase. And then our main event, Jade Cargill versus Asuka. And Jade Cargill retains the women's title. 3.5 star match, and that rivalry is now a level 4. We will blow that off at the Go Home show, which should be the week after next. Okay, so let's go ahead and simulate through. And let's see where we stand in the ratings and how we did. So we won the opener, tied for second in the first mid-card, tied for second in the second mid-card, and then everybody did pretty decent on the main event. Pretty much everyone with a 3.5 star, except for WCW again, which won the main event, but naturally they got the Good Brothers in there. That's okay. We should have done half decent. We did gain 6,840 fans. Not as many as I want, but hey, that's okay. NXT Mutiny plus 13,000, NXT 27,000. Wow, and WCW plus 17,000. Okay. So we actually did lose that week. That's unfortunate, but yet again, we are still sitting pretty. So we are heading towards week 8. Omos, thanks for the rematch against Wes. You're very welcome, sir. They didn't go the way it should have, but I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for staying on top of things. You're welcome. Asuka, listen, I need to wipe that smug smile off of Cargill's face after that loss. I want to fight her again within the next 2 weeks. Sure thing, because you will be blowing off this rivalry at the Go Home show. So that works for me. All right, so here we are, week 8 of 25. We are 2 weeks from Money in the Bank and 1 week from the Go Home show. The only active promise I have is Asuka with her rematch with Jade. That will happen next week at the Go Home show, so I will be able to satisfy that. And then our commissioner goal, have at least 1 underground match this week. No idea in hell what an underground match actually is, but it is giving us a Health Spa 3 power card. So if I can make that happen, I think I'm definitely going to do that. So again, we do have assets to upgrade logistics. We are not going to bother. And no... I'm going to take that Health Spa power card just in case we need to have that in our back pocket going forward if we run into stamina issues. So what I'm going to do is we are going to have a Rock and McIntyre match. Could this be an underground match? But 50% injury chance? No, I am definitely not going to risk that. Stamina are not the greatest, but what I can do... because I want this rivalry. I don't want to blow this rivalry off right now. I want to carry it over past Money in the Bank and take it to the 3rd PLE. I think it's Bad Blood or something along those lines. I want to blow this off of the 3rd PLE because I have a very juicy rivalry idea for WrestleMania. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil that, but I'm very excited to get that specific rivalry off the ground. But I do have to get rid of this rivalry first. But we are probably going to milk this for all that we can. So in the meantime, let's do an Iron Man match for the world title main event. One of our mid cards. We could do a women's tag team match to get them back in action. I do want to maintain their popularity, so that could just be a normal match. For now, I'm going to have it open the show. So, this is unfortunate because, again, Shinsuke and Cody were supposed to be our rivalry. Cody now has the stamina where I would be confident placing him in a match, but now Shinsuke unfortunately entered into a rivalry with Trick Williams. So, I don't know if we will be able to actually physically do much about that, but what I do want to do is potentially look for a new tag team rivalry. So we could do Omos and Bronson Reed against Trick and Wes. That could be a rivalry we have going. We will have to work on getting rid of the Wes and Rock rivalry, but tag team rivalry, but that's okay. We can make this for the tag titles. and we can keep that on the mid card. I'll put that up just before Rock and McIntyre. And then who is left? We have Cody, Braun, Shinsuke, and then 3 women. You know what? We could do a women's triple threat, Kaylani, Asuka, and Lash, and then we can do some call-outs for the remaining men or some promos for them. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We could just make this a normal match. Doesn't need to be anything too enticing. Oop, not Jade. So Kaylani, Lash, and Asuka. So Kaylani and Lash have a rivalry, and Asuka is just a throw-in to get her on the card. I don't think I want to do any form of interference. I want to get Jade's stamina back up. So that is good. We could do a call-out promo with Shinsuke calling out Cody. I'm hoping that if I do this once or twice, it will get rid of the Shinsuke Trick feud. Fingers crossed. I'm not entirely sure about how that works, but whatever. So Randy and Reigns. I don't know if I want to blow this off. Probably not. So I am not going to call out that rivalry. What I am going to do, I'm going to do a Cody Rhodes self-promo, and then we will do a Randy Orton self-promo. So that looks halfway decent. Go ahead and book that show, get week 8 in the books, and then move on to our Money in the Bank go home. So our opener is a tag team title match in the women's division. Elektra Lopez and Tatum Paxley versus Kairi Sane and Gigi Dolan. So Elektra and Tatum retain their titles. 3.5-star match, and that tag rivalry grows to a level 4. Thank God this Shinsuke call-out to Cody negates the Trick Williams rivalry and restarts that rivalry with Cody. So that's good. We are going to keep that one going. That is going to be a featured match on our go-home show card next week. Triple threat match, Kaylani Jordan, Lash Legend, and Asuka. Lash Legend picks up the win. It was a 2.5-star match, so honestly not that bad for a random triple threat match that I threw together, and that grows the Kaylani and Lash Legend rivalry to a level 4. Cody Rhodes self-promo gains 3 popularity from that, so that is fantastic. And then our second mid-card tag team title match, Trick Williams and Wesley versus Omos and Bronson Reed. And Trick and Wes retain, never a doubt. 3.5-star match, nothing going with a rivalry, that's okay. Then Randy gains 1 popularity point for his self-promo. Then our main event of the evening, The Rock and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship in an Iron Man match. So let's see if The Rock can gain gold, and he can. So The Rock wins, dethrones Drew, acquires the championship in a 4.5-star match, and that grows that rivalry to a level 2. So that was perfect. That card could not have gone any better, really. We progressed the rivalries we needed to progress, started new rivalries, and we have a very good groundwork for the coming weeks. So we tied for first in the opener, won the first mid-card, won the second mid-card, and won the main event pretty handily. So we did win that week. Briggs is injured for 3 weeks again. He just returned from injury, so Shawn Michaels is over there killing his superstars. Don't know why anyone would want to work for him. If you're seeing this and you work for Shawn Michaels, okay, come over to Smackdown. I will take you. All right. So gain 13,000 fans, $84,000. That's good to see. Mutiny 7,000, NXT 8,000, and WCW 2,000. So we were the only brand to break double digits in fan gain. So awesome. Ava and Mr. Fuji sitting there with 2 trophies each, and me and Sean there with 3. So we are ready for our Money in the Bank go-home show, and this mother flipper, dude, this mother flipper hits us with a power card. Bad timing. Next week, one of their contracts will be reduced by 2 weeks. So I think that means Shinsuke. Shinsuke's contract will be reduced 2 weeks. And Mr. Fuji, Triple the cost of all opposing brands matches for next week's show. Oh my god. That was me all strategy. Okay. Sean, you're asking for it. They love us, Elizabeth. Don't you think it's time to take the next step? I'm talking, of course, about some better effect packages. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Shinsuke wants a triple threat match against The Rock and Wesley. Sorry, that's not going to happen. This is a go-home show. We're not going to have throwaway matches like that. Sorry, buddy. So Asuka and Jade need to fight each other this week. And I do need to upgrade our effects package to tier 3. So let's go ahead and do that now. Fog effects, tier 3, confirm. 100 grand, kind of steep, but whatever. So we do have a health spot card in the shop. I am going to use that. Whoops. Let's go ahead and book our show, our main event of the night. I'm keeping Rock and Drew off of this card because I want them to be our mid-card match next week. Speaking of which, because Drew is low, it's probably a good idea to use this card on him. Make sure that he has a good stamina level so that we can have a banger match. Okay, so let's book this show. Since The Rock and Drew are off the table, we could dabble in a Randy and Roman match, men's championship. Let's do a gotta remember, all of these match costs are tripled, so we won't be able to do much. Let's make that a false count anywhere. Tag team, let's get the women's titles on the line. That is a level 4 rivalry. That should blow this off. Hopefully get a match rating boost. Jade and Asuka will kick the show off in a tables match. That works. And then let's see what else we got going on. We could do a Kaylani and Lash Legend blow off in a normal match on the mid card. And then potentially we can have a Cody versus Shinsuke. But what I want to do is I want to get as many people on this go-home show as possible. So we are going to do Cody. We're going to do Shinsuke. And then we could do Braun Strowman. He hasn't been involved in anything recently. And then we could do a Wesley or a Trick Williams. So what I'm actually going to do, just to get as many people involved as I can, I'm going to put Wesley in this. That's 3 face, 1 heel, but whatever. And then we can do an Omos run-in against Wesley. And then hopefully we could get a rivalry boost for that. We have 1 rivalry in this match already, which is Cody and Nakamura. Braun is a throw-in, and then we can have an added benefit of having Wesley get ran in on by Omos, potentially costing him the match and upgrading that rivalry. I don't have high hopes for that one, but we'll see what happens. We could start a one-on-one rivalry between Trick and Bronson Reed. I think I'll hold off on that, and I might fill this with self promos to get these guys' popularities up for not being on the card. And that will do it. I won't even have enough to fill that last promo card, but whatever. All right. So that promise is kept. That promise is kept. Shinsuke's contract is coming up, but we should be in good shape. Let's go ahead and book this show. $58,500 show cost. Honestly, not bad. Knowing that we had that power card played against us, that tripled the cost of all of our matches. But here we go. The opening match for our go-home show, Jade Cargill versus Asuka women's title match in a tables match, and Jade Cargill, surprise, surprise, wins 4-star match, and that rivalry is now complete. Bronson Reed gains 1 popularity from his self-promo. Fatal 4-way mid-card match, Cody, Shinsuke, Braun, and Wes, with Shinsuke picking up the dub in a 2-star match. But the Lee Omos feud grows to a level 2, which is exactly what I wanted out of it. Trick Williams with the 1 popularity increase. Our main mid-card match, the women's tag team titles. Elektra and Tatum, Kyrie and Gigi. Elektra and Tatum win again. Okay, that's a 3.5-star match. That rivalry is now over. We will have to kind of reconfigure our women's tag team after this, but hey, decent blow-off. And The Rock with a 3 popularity increase in his self-promo. Kaylani and Lash in a rivalry blow-off match. Kaylani wins. That is a 3.5-star match, completes the rivalry. And on to our main event of the evening. That would be Randy Orton and Roman Reigns in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the United States Championship. And Randy takes the title back off of Roman. That was a 4.5-star match, and that rivalry grows to a level 3. Wonderful. Okay. Don't care. Don't care. And don't care. Show me the ratings. All right, so we won the opener, came in second place with the first mid-card, won the second mid-card, won the third mid-card, and won the main event. So pretty much a clean sweep. We took it to every single brand that we have going against us. Tozawa out for 5 weeks, Gunther out for 3 weeks. So a couple notable injuries, but hey, we won. We should have handily taken all of the fans. So we did gain 50,000 fans and dollars. Mutiny gains 43,000, NXT 32,000, and WCW with 38,000. So we handily won the week, and we get a power card. A Noah guy immediately gained 10 Talent Scout points. All right, I don't know if I'm going to be actually using that, but hey, it's good to keep in the back pocket in case we have to deal with injury. Shinsuke Nakamura says, hey, Elizabeth, my time with SmackDown comes to an end this week. I'd be interested in staying another 5 weeks, and the cost would be $96,000. All right, let's talk figures here. $235,000 for the rest of the season. Oh my God, okay, that's crazy. How about 67? Okay, so I got Nakamura for cheaper at a moderate cost to his morale, so we'll have to monitor that. Asuka says, so much better putting on a show with proper effects. I looked absolutely glorious out there in front of those adoring lowlives. Okay, I've certainly had worse bosses. What a way to treat your fans. Kairi Sane says, listen, I can't stand teaming with Dolan. She's the reason why we keep losing our tag team matches, and I can't drill it into her thick skull. Let me prove who the problem is on the team. Give me a singles match tonight, and I'll show her how it's done. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I wasn't planning on putting you guys back together as a tag team since that rivalry is now over, so I'll get you on the card in some capacity. We're going to check any open promises. The only one I believe I have yet is the Kairi Sane solo match. We can definitely get that going. And if we have an Extreme Rules match on the card, we get a level 3 injury rehab. But not bad. Again, I am trying to save these assets. It's going to be difficult to save these assets when the superstars on the roster constantly want logistic upgrades, which I can understand. But I do want to get this stadium venue, but at this point, I'm not confident we can make that happen. So we do have a perk that we can set, and it will be on Kairi Sane, and this is one of those worthless ones that we don't care about. Okay, so check the power cards. We have a fixed match card. We don't have one of those currently, so I'm going to go ahead and buy that just in case we need it. Then let's go ahead and book our Money in the Bank matches. So the opener is going to be a women's fatal 4-way in a TLC match, and the match rewards are Money in the Bank immediately receive $100,000. Yeah, honestly, that's not bad. Okay, that's free money. So we are going to treat this, just like any other match that we want to win. So currently, we're in rough shape in our women's division. Honestly, I think we can potentially put Kairi Sane in this match. She has the highest stamina to popularity ratio that we have currently, and a decent morale and a decent level 15 in-ring. So Kairi will represent SmackDown in the opener. As stated previously, our mid-card match, is going to be The Rock and Drew McIntyre, who both are sitting with decent stamina, so we can do that. And if we make this an Extreme Rules match, we get that injury rehab card. So we are definitely going to make this an Extreme Rules. The Rock, Drew McIntyre, world title. Let's go. In our self promo, we could start up a new feud for Jade. So for the women's title, can't use Asuka. Kaylani Jordan wouldn't work. So this is exactly why I wanted to wait to use those GM power cards. So Jade's already up there in popularity. If we use that power card to pole vault a Tatum Paxley, a Lash Legend, or an Elektra Lopez to the top of the card, or to the top of the roster, they can immediately start feuding with Jade and make it a decent rivalry due to the relative popularities of the involved superstars. So what I am going to do is I am going to have Lash Legend call out Jade Cargill, hopefully start that rivalry, and then next week I can use one of those 3 power cards that we have on Lash Legend. So that works for me. Then our main event is a men's tag team. It is also a TLC that provides a Money in the Bank card. So if we win both, that's $200,000 bonus dollars. And for this, I believe the best course of action would be to include either Shinsuke or include Cody Rhodes. Shinsuke has far more stamina, relatively the same popularity, and is only trailing the in-ring level by 2. So we can afford to gamble the stamina with Shinsuke, and Shinsuke Nakamura will represent SmackDown at the main event of Money in the Bank. Let's go ahead and purchase the Money in the Bank venue while we're at it. No power cards that I want to purchase. That is perfectly fine. Can we use this health spot card on anybody? Let's use it on Randy. He is very low. He wasn't going to be on the card anyway, so let's get his stamina back up to an acceptable level. Let's go ahead and book this show. Do a quick verification. So we have Kairi Sane and Shinsuke representing SmackDown in the cross-brand matches, and then The Rock versus Drew McIntyre in an Extreme Rules match for the title in the mid-card, and a simple call-out for the women's title. Show cost $18,000. Let's do it. Oh, that's interesting artwork there. So the opener is that women's fatal 4-way tables, ladders, and chairs match. Blair Davenport, Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler, and Rhea Ripley. This is honestly not bad. Rhea Ripley is very low stamina, okay, but her popularity is through the absolute roof. So good for her. Good to see mommy getting work over there on NXT. So let's go ahead and simulate, and fingers crossed for Kairi. And Rhea wins. All right, but she is injured for 2 weeks. All right, so Shawn does win the opening match, okay, but at the cost of Rhea Ripley being injured. So hopefully that was worth $100K. So our mid-card match, The Rock and Drew McIntyre for the title in an Extreme Rules. And The Rock wins. Surprise, surprise. That is a 5-star match from a level 2 rivalry. Wow. All right, so that rivalry grows to a level 3. All right, that is probably the first of many 5-star matches we are going to have from The Rock. That's just absolutely fantastic. Call out between Lash and Jade. That starts a rivalry. Perfect. So I am going to place that card on Lash, and that will be an absolutely fantastic main event caliber feud between these two for the foreseeable future. So a triple threat, normal triple threat. Okay.
It's over.
Lola Vice wins in a 2.5-star match. That was absolute garbage. Rey Mysterio in a call-out grows whatever rivalry that was to level 4. Yet another just regular triple threat match. And Jimmy Uso wins 3-star match and blows off a rivalry. Interesting. Raquel Rodriguez with the failed self-promo, no popularity gain. And then the main event of WCW is a Hell in a Cell between Tama Tonga and Baron Corbin. And there is not even a title on the line here.
1, 2, that's 3, bring it.
Tama Tonga wins. That is a 4-star match. Okay, that's not surprising. This was a Hell in a Cell after all. And that blows off that rivalry. All right, and then Alexa's promo grants whatever offer that is to level 3. All right, and that brings us to the main event of Money in the Bank. It is a tag team men's match, TLC rules. Shinsuke Nakamura and Ilya Dragunov for Santos Escobar and Chad Gable. We should have this in the bag.
That's it. Ring the bell.
And we win. Surprise, surprise. 4-star match, and we receive a $100,000 bonus. So we absolutely destroyed everybody in the mid-card matches. Obviously, we got a 5-star rating, and then the opener and main were only 4 stars, but, you know, whatever. No injuries really of note except for Rhea. So let's go see how we did. Plus 130,000 fans and $137,000. That's what you love to see. Mutiny with 97,000, NXT with 104,000, and WCW with 92,000. So we won in very convincing fashion this week, obviously, and we acquire an injury rehab 3 card. Perfect. All right, so you will see we still currently have about a 200,000 fan lead over Ava, who is in second place for fans, and Mr. Fuji is actually creeping up on Sean for 3rd place. Good for Mr. Fuji. Mr. Fuji making a comeback. So, trades. You know, I would like to get like a Rey Mysterio, but that trade value is absolutely crazy. Roman Reigns, 58 popularity. What happened to him? Maybe like a Braun Strowman and a... I don't know. Like... anybody else I could throw in here that isn't doing much? I'm gonna keep Tatum. Elektra, there are tag champs. Legend, Kyrie, Asuka. I don't know if I'll be able to make this work. Don't know if there's anything. No, I'm definitely not doing that. That was just to see. What if I offered you $100,000? I don't think they're gonna go for this. It'd be pretty awesome if they did, but let's just see. Let's just see to say we saw. Their Mr. Fuji's rebuttal is Akam and $200,000 for Braun Strowman and Kairi Sane. No, we're not hurting for money. That's going to be a no from me. I wanted Ray, but I knew he wasn't going to give him up easily. So Akam and $213,000. So pretty much over 2/3 of his entire budget for Braun and Kairi. Again, no, I'm okay. Well, let's see what Sean's dumbass has to offer. He wants to offer us Raquel Rodriguez and $177,000 for Kairi Sane and Braun Strowman. Again, I don't need cash, and I don't want Raquel, so that is going to be a no. They did upgrade the trade offer to $192,000. We are going to decline that as well. And WCW is offering us Jada Parker and Baron Corbin and no money for Braun Strowman and $7,000. I don't know who Jada Parker is. Never heard her name before in my entire life. So we are going to say absolutely not. So we are in Sunrise, Florida, and oh my God, it never ends. Mr. Fuji hitting us with a power card. Select an opposing brand. Increase the price of all new contracts signed next week by $25,000. That's okay. We're not going to sign any new contracts this week, so that's perfectly fine. Bad news, we've lost one of our major talent scouts. Hiring new talent is going to cost more until we can replace them. Luckily, I have a replacement in mind, but I won't be able to get her until next week. Perfectly fine. Kairi Sane says, hey, I feel like I'm the fall guy every week at the moment. Whatever my next match is, I want a win. Okay. I'll do my best. Drew says, I'm not feeling 100% physically. I don't mind pain, but I don't want a serious injury. Is it okay if I take 2 weeks off? I wish there was a way where I could say take 1 week off, but let's say, sure, Drew, get some rest, get that morale up, get that stamina up, and then once you're back, we're going to hit the ground running. So our shakeup card leading the pack, select a female or male superstar to gain 10 popularity. Whenever superstars who share that gender gain popularity is increased by 20%. Interesting. David and Goliath, superstars below. No, we've checked that one out before. Paragon. Select a superstar. All superstars who share the role of the selected superstar gain 5 ring XP. And that is permanent. So in the grand scheme of things, 5 ring XP is not a lot at all. This leading the pack card could potentially be absolutely huge for either bolstering our men's or our women's division. It's only for 5 weeks. Paragon is permanent, but I think we have work to do with our men's roster, especially the bottom of that roster is not the greatest popularity-wise. So we're going to do leading the pack. So I can pick somebody to gain 10 popularity right off the bat, and then all other men will gain additional popularity every time they gain a popularity point. So for some reason, Roman is way down here with a 58 popularity. So I want to bring him back up towards the top. We are going to have him... Hello? Did that work? Okay, so it did work. There wasn't an animation. That confused me a little bit, but that's okay. So our top of the men's card, The Rock, Randy, Drew, Roman, Shinsuke, and Cody. That is a very formidable top 6 if I've ever seen one. And now, while we are on the topic of roster makeup, I want to go ahead and I want to pole vault Lash Legend to the top of the roster to start a feud with our current champion, Jade Cargill. So, Lash Legend, welcome to the top of the SmackDown roster. Beautiful. And is there another way? Okay, we can't use another one. I was going to say maybe there's somebody at the bottom of the card with low morale that we don't want to lose, that we could have used it on, but that's okay. So our Money in the Bank card that we won last week, we are going to use that, gain $100,000 right off the bat. Okay. Nothing else worth using currently. Let's go ahead and see if we have a Commissioner goal. We do have at least one Gauntlet Eliminator match this week for a To the Moon power card. While I'm on the topic here, I am going to give Kairi Sane this fixed match power card. I do want to keep her happy. I do want her on the brand, so she is guaranteed to win her next match, regardless of who it is against. So, Lash and Jade, we can have a match go on for this. I don't want to make it a title match. I want to make this a mid-card match. I want to grow that rivalry, so that's what we're going to do. The Rock and Drew's rivalry, they are low stamina, so we're not going to do anything there. For our main event, though, we are going to do Shinsuke and Cody, and this is going to be a backstage brawl match. Yeah, they got the stamina, and it will increase their popularities. So Shinsuke and Cody in our main event. We need a tag team match for this. Let's maybe let's start a tag team title rivalry. And we could do Bronson and Omos, the big boys, against the cruisers, Wes and Trick. So that works for me. And then we could potentially do a Kaylani Jordan and Asuka rivalry. But I think what I'm going to do is we're going to do a women's tag team match, and we are going to do Elektra and Tatum against Kaylani and Elektra? No, no. It would be Kaylani and either Gigi or Kairi Sane. Probably Gigi. And then we are going to put them against Elektra and Tatum. Okay, that works for me. Okay, that's good. Let's see what we can do call out wise. These level 3 rivalries up here at the top. I do want to save those for actual matches to increase those rivalries. So we can start an Asuka and Kairi Sane rivalry. That would be a nice one to see in real life. So we're gonna do that, and then we can do a call out. Braun doesn't have work right now, but we can maybe do a one-on-one rivalry with Bronson Reed. Yeah, that works for me. And then we could do a self promo with the Tribal Chief, get his popularity back up towards the top of the brand. So that looks good to me. We didn't fulfill the commissioner goal, but that's perfectly fine. I like the card that we have. Let's go ahead. Let's book our show. $68,500. In our first match of the evening, a tag team title match, Wes and Trick versus Omos and Bronson Reed. And Wes and Trick retain. All right, that is a 3-star match. No rivalry. That's okay. Asuka and Kairi, their rivalry starts at a level 1. And then we have our first mid-card, another tag team title match, this time in the women's division. Kaylani and Gigi Dolan versus Elektra and Tatum Paxley. And Kaylani and Gigi dethrone Elektra and Tatum in a 2.5-star match, and they actually do start a rivalry to a level 1, so that's good. Braun calling out Bronson, that begins a rivalry, awesome. Then Lash Legend, our new top face of the brand, versus Jade Cargill, and Lash Legend takes home the win in a 4-star match. Man, that card is so overpowered. I cannot understate that. It's potentially verging on, it's verging on broken. That's how good that card is. That increased the rivalry to level 2. And then Roman Reigns' self-promo was a weak promo. The fans are booing, and that is a 0 popularity increase, bringing us to our main event of the evening. Shinsuke Nakamura, Cody Rhodes, backstage brawl. And Cody Rhodes beats Shinsuke in a 3.5-star match. It increases the rivalry to a level 2. However, we did get outperformed by our second mid-card, so shite. That's unfortunate. That's going to mess up our ratings, but we can afford little mistakes here and there with the current lead that we have. So 3-star opener, honestly not the greatest. We won the first mid-card, won the second mid-card, and then again we kind of botched the main event there. Should have known that match would have been a banger after using that card on Lash Legend, but what are you going to do? Any injuries of note here? Escobar 3 weeks, and that's about it. So not really. We gained 12,153 fans and $50,000. NXT Mutiny, 13,000 fans. NXT lost fans. That's what you get, Sean. Okay, payback is a dish best served cold. So for the first time in this series, okay, the entire series, season 1 and season 2, we have a brand who loses fans. Okay, and it just so happens to be Shawn Michaels over there at NXT. So you could probably guess how happy I am to see that. All right, good stuff. And WCW plus 20,000 fans, and they lose money. Okay, so honestly, not too bad. We are still in good shape. Ava and Fuji still with 2 trophies. Sean and I each with 3, and we are 3 weeks from bad blood. Shinsuke Nakamura is being a whiny little diva, and I can guarantee he wants us to upgrade a logistic for him. This crowd has been really getting behind me. It's time we capitalized on that. You should have given me top billing in the upcoming show. I want the main event. Randy Orton says, excuse me, it's pretty obvious that the crowd wants to see me in the biggest matches. It should be me who gets the main event. I assume you agree, Elizabeth. We got a couple divas here. Shinsuke and Randy, I think they're both heels, or is Randy a face? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to put both of you in the main event. I want to make sure your morals are, acceptable levels. I don't know how I'm going to make it work, but I'm going to. Omos says, look, Trick Williams has been handing me nothing but losses. Isn't there someone else on the roster you can match me up with for a change? Sure, but at the same time, Omos, you're about 7'12" and 400 pounds. Trick Williams is a literal cruiserweight. I assume he's no taller than 4'7" and 80 pounds soaking wet. So how is this man beating you in a legitimate wrestling match? Unbeknownst to me, that's just absolutely mind-boggling. Glad to hear it. Got to snap out of this spiral. Okay, just get better. Hit the gym. Commissioner goal, have at least one tables match. We are definitely going to do that. And we promised Shinsuke and Randy a main event match. But let's see how we can make this happen. Randy is a heel. Shinsuke is a heel. Okay, so, all right. Randy and Shinsuke versus their rivalries, Roman and Cody. Having Roman and Cody in a tag team match together absolutely sickens me, but that's going to be our tables match to satisfy the commissioner goal. All right, so that satisfies both of those. Drew McIntyre needs to stay off the card one more week, and then Omos, his next fight can't be against Trick. Okay. So, Lash and Jade. Jade is slacking in stamina, so we are going to potentially do a throwaway style match between Lash and Gigi, and we can do a run-in with Tatum Paxley on Gigi. I want to get Lash Legend as much work as possible and capitalize on her 100 popularity, 100 stamina. In our opener, The Rock and Drew, I guess, yeah, technically they could fight. They could have a match together. And you know what? Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. They are going to have a match together, and then, if needed, they can sit out next week to recover some more stamina for the upcoming PLE and go home show. That's good. We are going to keep that a normal match because of the stamina levels. And then let's see what else we can do. Omos and Wes Lee. That can satisfy the promise we made to Omos that his next fight wouldn't be against Trick. Okay, unfortunately that leaves a lot of people off of the card, which isn't ideal, but we can work with it. So, what do I want to do here? Do a call out between the big boys. Do that, and then that leaves one slot for a self promo. I think I want that to be potentially Bronson Reed. Get him something to do. All right. We do have a new perk available for Kaylani Jordan. And this is unfortunately the one that we don't care about. Again, all specialist playthrough. All right. Let's go ahead and book this show. $15,500 cost. Not much going on in terms of specialty match, but hey, I think it's a pretty decent card, and we are trying to conserve some stamina. $50,500. Confirm booking. All right, so the opener for our card, The Rock and Drew McIntyre for the title in a normal match, and The Rock wins. This man is on an absolute tear. That is a 4.5-star match for a normal match on a random card in the middle of the PLE cycle. Wow. Okay, that rivalry grows to level 4. That is probably going to be a guaranteed 5-star match at either the Go Home Show or the PLE. So, flipping awesome. Kyrie and Asuka rivalry goes to level 2. Omos versus Wesley in a one-on-one normal match. And Omos finally picks up a win. Grows that rivalry to a level 3. Braun and Bronson rivalry goes to level 2. And then Lash versus Gigi with a Tatum run-in. And Lash Legend picks up the win. There's a 3-star match. Not bad at all. Then Bronson Reed with a 1 popularity increase, and then our main event in a tag team a tag team match tables is Randy and Shinsuke versus Roman and Cody. Kind of concerned about Roman and Cody stamina levels, but that's okay. Randy and Shinsuke take home the win. That is a 3.5-star match, and that actually starts a rivalry between the 4 of them. Potentially something we could look at having as a match filler type thing on a card where we need a lot of people on it. So we are going to simulate Mutiny, simulate NXT. and simulate WCW. So we won the opener, won the first mid card, tied for first in the second mid card, and then we came in second in the main event to WCW, who had a TLC title match between Dar and Mensa. So good for them. No. All right, Fallon Henley injured for 1 week. Piper Niven injured for 6 weeks. All right. So some injuries going on there. We gained 10,000 fans and $100,000. Mutiny 5,000 fans, NXT 4,000 fans, and WCW 17,000 fans. Good for them. We get a contract negotiation card. We're going to slap that on Shinsuke almost immediately. We're in Pontiac, Michigan. Drew McIntyre, what the hell? You said you would give me time off, but then you put me into a match. Whoops. Thought things were going well for me at SmackDown. Maybe not. Yeah, that's my bad. I can't count. I can't keep track of time. That's my bad. I got an email about an ad agency in the area. How do you feel about giving them a chance? They're currently charging $10,000 for a 3-week ad campaign. It has the potential to gain us some new fans, but since they're new, there's always the potential to lose some as well. No, we're good. What we're doing is working. We're okay. All right. So our commissioner goal, ensure that your least popular available specialist is in a match this week for a limited stock power card. Whatever. Kairi Sane demanded she win her next match. That's going to happen. She has that card played on her, so she is guaranteed to win. Shinsuke's contract expiring in 3 weeks. So we are going to slap this on Shinsuke. Perfect. Love to see that. All right. We are in decent shape. We are halfway through season 2. Let's go ahead and book this show. So our main event, their staminas are still relatively low, and we do have the go-home show next week. So I'm probably going to rest our top men, make sure they're good to go next week. Lash, Legend, and Jade, that, again, Jade's stamina is not the best, but we can have this in a normal match. That is going to be in the main event. Then we could potentially look into doing a tag match. Omos' stamina low relatively, but hey, that's okay. Tag title match to open. Leave the top 6 gentlemen off the card. So we're going to need to fill the rest up with the ladies. All right, let's make that a tag title match. And then for our last match on the card, Asuka versus Kairi in a normal. Okay, so this will be a very women-dominated card this week, but it's a necessary evil. What I want to do a promo for Drew. All right, I want to get him on the Rock's level popularity-wise. And then I want to do a self-promo for Roman, and then we'll do a self-promo for Cody. So although they're not going to get the full benefit of being off the card for their stamina, they will all still see a stamina increase and should all be hovering around the 40s, which should be workable for our go-home show and or our mid-card at the upcoming PLE. This is going to be a very cheap show. The only money we're spending is for the promos. We do satisfy our commissioner goal. Okay, so we get this limited stock power card. Not that important, whatever, but I'll never say no to free power cards. So that's cool. Go ahead and book $7,500 show. The opener, it's a tag team title match. Wes and Trick versus Omos and Bronson Reed. And Wesley and Trick retain the titles. 3-star match, nothing going with a rivalry, but that's okay. Drew McIntyre, 3 popularity increase for his self-promo. Mid-card one-on-one, Asuka versus Kairi Sane. And Kairi Sane comes out with the win, which makes sense because she got that fixed match card played against her. And that increases our rivalry to a level 3. Roman Reigns with a 2 popularity increase. Tatum and Electra versus Kaylani and Gigi for the titles. And Kaylani and Gigi upset the champions, take the titles in a 3-star match, growing their rivalry to a level 2. Cody Rhodes with a 1 popularity increase for his self-promo, which brings us to the main event of the evening. a women's title one-on-one match between Lash Legend and Jade Cargill. And Lash Legend takes the title off of Jade. 4.5-star classic. And that rivalry grows to a level 3. Okay. So, not bad card. It seems like anything that Lash Legend goes or even touches is an instant or automatic 4-star match. So, we tied for first with the opener, won the first mid-card, won the second mid-card, and won the main event. So, we did pretty damn well this week, but only got 6,000 fans. All right, so 6,800 fans for us. Mutiny with 8,000. That doesn't make sense. NXT with 2,000 and WCW with 2,000 as well. The Mutiny did beat us in fan gain, which again, I don't understand, but hey, that's okay. We are closing in on 3 million total fans as we near our third PLE. Oh my God. Triple the cost again of all opposing brands matches. So Fuji loves doing this and targeting us with that, so he once again waited until the go-home show to use that against us. So once again, we are not going to have a very robust go-home show in terms of match types. And you can thank Mr. Fuji for that. He is very, very steadily creeping up on Sean as our #1 enemy in this series. I can't believe how big of a threat we are to the rest of the brands where they feel the need to absolutely hammer us with power cards. But we are so good at this game, it does not matter. Okay, you could hit me with every power card under the sun and I'm still going to win. Omas says, Smackdown is making waves and I'm at the forefront of it all. It's amazing through the ups and downs. I've never been on this kind of roll before in my career. I may not be on Smackdown forever, but I sure wish I could be. I've given so much to the brand. What do you think of the job I've done? Sir, you were in my DMs 2 weeks ago complaining about how you could not beat a midget. Okay, you are not the forefront of SmackDown. You're not the face of the brand. You are doing, to be completely honest with you, absolutely nothing. So I am not going to give you any money. That is not going to happen. So you can cry about it. Asuka says, hey boss, I've been talking with Lash a lot lately, and she had this great idea that we should team up for a tag match. I think we'd actually make an awesome tag team. Can I convince you to take a chance on us and book us for a tag match in the next few weeks? You know what? Hopefully it's a 3-week. Hopefully it's a 3-week promise. I have 3 weeks to satisfy this, because I don't want to put Asuka and Lash Legend in a match at the go-home show, and they are definitely not going in a tag match at the PLE. So hopefully, okay, it's 3 weeks. Thank God. All right, so we can satisfy that the first week after the next pay-per-view. So I schedule a run and I get a Veto Star card. Definitely going to use that. Okay, it's not the pay-per-view. We have enough for a logistic upgrade, but if I wait 3 weeks, I could potentially upgrade our venue. So I am going to wait. Nothing in terms of power cards for this week. All right. I know you guys are probably going to be surprised at this, but I am not going to target Sean. Recently, Mr. Fuji has been our rival. So Mr. Fuji for the PLE next week is going to get forced to use a level 1 logistic for everything across the board. No rival brands have contracts. Double the price of the power cards for Mr. Fuji. Okay. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and book our show here. How did Jade's popularity drop so much? I don't really understand that. Anywho, all right, Roman and Randy, U.S. Championship match. This will be a... And we got to remember, again, all of our match types cost are tripled. We're going to do a falls count anywhere. Okay, that is probably the cheapest match we can do with the highest match quality boost. So we'll have to make do with that. So The Rock and Drew, I'm going to give them each one more week of rest, and they are going to be our PLE mid-card match since we only get one of them. Lash and Jade for the women's match, or for the women's title, we can do that. Omos is pissed because we didn't give him a bonus, but that's okay. I don't really care. He does absolutely nothing for us. Let's do a women's tag team title match. I don't know if I want that to open, but I'll put that between the two of them. And Cody and Shinsuke, absolutely, I want that on the card. And then last but not least, I want to save Asuka and Kairi. Bronson and Braun. Let's do that. Yeah, just to get Omos on the card and potentially upgrade his morale, let's have him call out Wes to do a self-promo with Kairi Sane. I like that. Self-promo with Trick, and a self-promo potentially with Wesley. So, again, we were limited with the amount of stuff that we could actually do because of Mr. Fuji. So this is going to have to be our card. Let's go ahead and book $40,500. Honestly, meh, but we should be okay. Okay, so we have our opener, a one-on-one match, Shinsuke versus Cody Rhodes in a normal non-title match. Cody Rhodes beats Shinsuke in a 3.5-star match, so not bad. I'll take that. That grows their rivalry to a level 3. We have Omos and Wes's rivalry growing to a level 4. All right, so that's good. That's something we could blow off and keep in our back pocket for the next couple weeks leading up to the next PLE. Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman one-on-one. And Braun Strowman picks up the win in a 2.5-star match, but it grows that rivalry to a level 3. That's okay. We'll take that. Kairi Sane with a 1 popularity increased. Not the best, but hey. Lash Legend, Jade Cargill, women's title match, and Lash Legend wins. So that is a 4-star match, and that rivalry is over. We will have some work to do on Jade's popularity because for some reason it has fallen into the gutter after losing her title. Trick Williams, 1 popularity increase for his self-promo. The tag team women's titles on the line, and Kaylani and Gigi retain. This is a 3.5-star match, and that rivalry grows to a level 3. Perfect. Wesley gains 1 popularity for his self-promo, and that leads us to our main event. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton for the United States Championship in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And Randy retains. 5-star legendary match, and that rivalry is now officially over. All right. So honestly, start to finish, not a bad show. I think we should handily run away with this week as well, heading into our Week 15 PLE. So we tied for first in the opener, tied for first in the first mid-card, won the second mid-card, won the third mid-card, and absolutely demolished that main event. So that is a W, and we have... This guy, man. This guy just keeps getting injured. Okay, this is supposed to be Shawn Michaels' golden boy. Briggs gone for 8 weeks. Oh my God. And Tozawa and Otis gone for 5 and 4 weeks respectively. So Shawn's roster completely dilapidated. Oh my God. All right, and no other real injuries of note. So we gained 44,000 fans for our go-home show. And guys, we were nearing $1 million in total budget. Mutiny with 39,000, NXT with 44,000, WCW with 38,000. So we have all this money, and I don't know what to do with it. All right, I don't know what to do with all this money. There is just so much you can do with it, and there's not much once you get up to this level. Omar says, look, Elizabeth, I feel like things have been moving in the wrong direction. I'm not enjoying being the guy the crowd boos every week, so I'm changing roles. End of discussion. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Omas, you're fired. Okay. You don't want to listen to me? I am your boss. You don't tell me what I'm doing. I tell you what I'm doing. So Bronson Reed says, hey, isn't it about time you put me in a PLE event? These things come and go, and you never seem to use me. How about we end the disrespect tonight and you finally give me my moment on the big stage? I could potentially think about putting you in a call-out, but you are definitely not going in a match. That is absolutely not going to happen. If I make our mid-card a submission match, I get a Get Schooled 3 card. So honestly, we might have to look at that. So Roman Reigns has a new perk. Ooh, you know, I like making some backstage brawl matches, so we are going to make Roman Reigns' match specialty a backstage brawl for added bonuses when I book him in those matches. So that is absolutely perfect and works out perfectly. We are going to take the Bad Blood venue, as we do every time there's a PLE. And we're currently sitting at 6 assets. Hopefully by the next PLE, we can upgrade to the arena. Power cards real quick, nothing really. So let's go ahead and book our show. So the opener for Bad Blood is a women's fatal 4-way Hell in a Cell. For a boiling point card, immediately increase all rivalries on your brand by 1 level. So Lash Legend, you are going to be representing Smackdown. And chances are she's probably going to win. 100 popularity, 78 stamina, fantastic morale, level 13 in ring. Lash Legend is going to be our representative. Our mid-card match is going to be The Rock and Drew McIntyre for the titles. And I believe... Do I make this a Hell in a Cell match? This is probably already guaranteed to be a 5-star match. I don't know if I need to expend the stamina and the money to make it a Hell in a Cell to make this absolutely crazy match. So let's make it a submission match. I hope you can blow off a rivalry in a submission match. Again, this should already be a 5-star match, and I do want this Get Schooled power card. So that is going to be our mid card, and then potentially, do we have something for Bronson to do in terms of a call out? We do. He can call out Braun Strowman. Okay, that will increase Bronson's morale. So let's move on to our main event. It is a men's tag team backstage brawl match. Too bad I already put Roman. So I put his specialty as a backstage brawl, but his stamina is 6. He is in the single digits. He is not going anywhere. He is not going in any matches. Even with a pre-match physio, that's not going to happen. We're going to have to find somebody else. So Shinsuke is going to represent us again. Stamina kind of low for a backstage brawl, but again, I want to win this. So Shinsuke is going to represent SmackDown in the cross-brand men's main event. So let's go ahead and book this show and get this third PLE in the books. The $28,000 show cost, confirm booking. So our opening match is a women's fatal 4-way Hell in a Cell. It is Lash Legend versus Raquel Rodriguez, Selena Vega, and Lola Vice. All right, we have more popularity and stamina than everybody else. This should be ours to lose.
1, 2, that's 3, bring it.
I spoke too soon and jinxed myself. Zelina Vega takes the win for WCW. 4.5-star classic match. That's unfortunate, but that is okay. I wasn't too dead set on getting that power card reward anyway. Our only mid-card match of the Bad Blood PLE, The Rock versus Drew McIntyre in a submission match for the title. And Drew McIntyre actually upsets The Rock. 5-star legendary match. Blows off the rivalry. Holy crap. Wow. All right. So, that rivalry is blown off. Drew comes away with the title at Bad Blood after basically going on a losing streak leading up to the pay-per-view. Wow. All right. So nothing happening with that rivalry. That's okay. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Gunther and Austin Theory. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee win. Whatever. Gunther injured for 5 weeks. That rivalry grows. Rhea Ripley and Fallon Henley for the title. Fallon Henley wins, and Rhea Ripley injured for 8 weeks. Rhea is going to be gone the rest of the season since there are only 8 weeks remaining, unless they are able to finagle that somehow and place a bunch of injury rehab cards on her. Joe Coffey, no popularity increase. What a surprise. And then the last mid-card match we have is a tornado tag. Luke and Carl versus Tama and Jacob. And obviously Gallows and Anderson win that match. 4 stars. Cool, cool, cool. On to the main event. Again, the main event is a men's backstage brawl. It is a tag team match, so we are partnering with Baron Corbin of WCW, and we are going against Ludwig Kaiser and Jimmy Uso of NXT and NXT Mutiny. I'm kind of concerned about Shinsuke's stamina level, but gotta have faith. Fingers crossed. And we do pick up the win in the men's main event. It is a 4-star match, and we do get the Boiling Point power card, which will increase all rivalries on our brand by 1 level. Cool. So, we, once again, surprise, surprise, absolutely demolished everybody at this PLE. We had the only 5-star mid-card match, and then we had a 4.5 and a 4-star shared opener and main event. So, again, Gunther gone 5 weeks, Rhea Ripley gone 8 weeks. Absolutely insane. Wow. Okay, so we gain 132,000 fans and $133,000. We are nearing 1 milli. Mutiny, 91,000 fans. NXT, 98,000 fans. And WCW, 151,000 fans. Good for them. They are definitely getting on our heels in terms of overall fans, but we should be able to fight them off as we near the road to WrestleMania. Okay, so we did get that Get Schooled power card. Lovely. And you can see we are still there in first. We have just surpassed 3 million total fans for the series, and nobody else is even at 2.9. So we are doing fantastic still. Let's head into the next week. I don't think we're trading. I'm not going to trade unless something absolutely blows me off my feet. Lexus King for 56,000. No, he looks more like a Lexus Queen. We are going to decline that. What else you got for me? What other bullcrap offers can I entertain? Raquel and Nia Jax versus Wesley and Trick Williams for my tag team champions. No, thank you, Sean. Not happening. WCW wants to give us Noam Dar and Jada Parker for Jade Cargill. I could not have hit that decline button fast enough. Thank you, but no thank you, Ava. That offer was absolute dog water. All right, so here we are now in Syracuse, New York. Bronson Reed says, thanks a ton for putting me in the PLE. It means a lot, and I want to do my part to make this the best wrestling brand, and you earned my respect earlier when you gave me a chance. Show you that Drew and I can work as a tag team. If I'm being completely honest with you, Mr. Bronson Reed, the only reason why I put you in that promo and put you on the card in general is not only to keep your stamina above angry, it is because I fear if I piss you off, you are going to eat me. I am a little old lady, okay, and you are 6 feet tall and 800 pounds. All right, I do not want to be on the short end of your stick, okay, so that's why. Don't thank me too much. I did it out of necessity and self-preservation. The Rock says, I'm not happy about losing my strap. As a former champion, I'm enacting my rematch clause. I want a championship rematch against McIntyre. Nobody else better get a shot at the Universal Championship before me. That might fit my plans. So, we will see about that. Our shake-up card, Jumpstart, Superstars below ring level 10, gain 15 ring XP. I don't know how many superstars we have currently that are below level 10. All promos cost 75% less. Honestly, not bad. Your most popular male and female superstars each lose 35 popularity, and your least popular each gain 50 popularity. Not going to do that. We're going to do the promo discount that will pay for itself over the coming weeks. So, guys, we have officially entered the road to WrestleMania. We are on show 16 of 25. One more PLE before the WrestleMania PLE, and that will signify the end of Season 2 and therefore the end of the series. So I am going to end the episode there. Hopefully you guys were relatively okay with this extended length. I know there was a lot of content and a lot of stuff thrown into one episode, and we will most likely be hovering around, the 2-hour time frame. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, if you did like it, I would ask that you leave a comment under this video and like the video with a thumbs up, as well as potentially hitting that subscribe button. All of those mechanisms I just outlined are completely free, will not cost you a dime. However, they will all, in their own respect, help out the channel, help out this individual video, and help with the overall YouTube algorithm to help promote this content to other individuals interested in gaming, sports, and WWE, and everything in between. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.